Discover why Top Gun Maverick remains the gold standard for modern blockbusters filming. From the dark side of the Dark Star opening to the Danger Zone homage, we analyze the best scenes that prove Tom Cruise is the king of the big screen. In this episode of Hollywood Insiders, we dive deep into the technical mastery of Top Gun Maverick. While the original 1986 classic sets the stage, the sequel pushed the envelope with practical effects and IMAX grade cinematography. So let's go ahead and get into this clip, and afterwards I will come back and give you my commentary.
Bullseye, holy shit!
Come on, kids, you can do it. Don't think. Just do it.
Discover why Top Gun Maverick remains the gold standard for modern blockbusters filming. From the dark side of the Dark Star opening to the Danger Zone homage, we analyze the best scenes that prove Tom Cruise is the king of the big screen. In this episode of Hollywood Insiders, we dive deep into the technical mastery of Top Gun Maverick. While the original 1986 classic sets the stage, the sequel pushed the envelope with practical effects and IMAX grade cinematography. So let's go ahead and get into this clip, and afterwards I will come back and give you my commentary. The script story breaks down the reluctant return 30 years after graduating from Top Gun. Pete Mitchell of Maverick, Tom Cruise has intentionally stalled his career at the rank of captain to stay in the cockpit as a test pilot. After pushing a hypersonic Dark Star jet to Mach 10 and destroying the prototype, his old rival, Toon's friend, Admiral Tom Iceman Sozinski, saves him from being grounded by ordering him back to North Islands to train a new generation of elite fighters. The impossible mission: the Navy needs to destroy a unsanctioned uranium enrichment plant hidden in a deep, heavy, defended canyon. The mission is so dangerous that only Maverick, unorthodox low altitude flight plans resembles the Death Star tech runs can succeed. Among the trainees are Lieutenant Bradley Rooster Bradshaw, the son of Maverick, of his father's death, for stalling his naval career for years. The climax and closure. When the mission began, Maverick is named team leader. They successfully hit the target, but Maverick is shot down while sacrificing his jet to save Rooster. In a final twist of teamwork, Rooster returns to rescue Maverick. The two must then steal an ancient F-14 Tomcat to fight their way back to the carrier. The story concludes as Maverick finding peace, reuniting with Penny Benjamin, and finally mentoring Rooster as a surrogate son. Inside of best scene hooks to mention, practically over CGI. Remind your viewers that the stories felt real because the actors was actually in an F-18 cockpit and doing real G-forces, and no green screens could replicate. The Mach 10 test, the dark star sequence, was developed with the real world input from Lockheed Martin, adding an extra layer of authenticities for aviation's inside. The story of Top Gun Maverick, the setup. Over 30 years after the original film, Pete Maverick, Mitch, Tom Cruise, in which me and Tom about the same age. I turned 64 in June, and I think Tom turned 64 in July, about 2 to 3 days after my birthday. My birthday is actually on the 27th, and I think his birthday is sometime in the early week of July. Tom Cruise is still a captain, deliberately dodging motion to remain a high-stake test pilot after pushing a experimental star jet to Mach 10 and destroying it. He is saved from being grounded by his old rival, tuned friend Admiral Tom Iceman Kaczynski. And you know it by name is, can't think of his name right now, but he just recently passed, I think a couple of years ago. I'll think of his name in a minute, but he recently passed a couple of years ago at 65. The conflict is back to Top Gun to train a group of elite graduates for a near impossible mission, destroying an unsanctioned underground uranium enrichment plant. Among the recruits is Lieutenant Bradley Rooster Bradshaw Miles Taylor, the son of Maverick, late best friend Goose. The stakes: Maverick must confront his past guilt over Goose's death while managing a fractured relationship. Rooster, who blames Maverick for stalling his career. Meanwhile, Vice Admiral Sycon Simpson Hammond remains spectacle. So I can't get it out. He remained spectacle. Maverick, dinosaur in an era of drones. The climate. After proving the mission can be flown by completing a training run in record time, Maverick is named team leader. During the mission, they successfully destroyed the plant, but Maverick sacrificed his jet to save Rooster from a missile. The revolution. Rooster returns to save down Maverick. The two steal in our old F-14 Tomcat from an enemy base and engage in a high-stake dogfight against modern fifth-generation fighters. Saved by a last-minute intervention from Hangman Glenn Powell, they return to the carrier as heroes, having finally found mutual respect and closure. Insiders, while it works for the big screen, the cinema savior impact industry context after years of pandemic delays. The film is credited by figures like Steven Spielberg for saving the theatrical distribution model. Box office legacy. It becomes Tom Cruise's highest grossing film ever, earning over $1.4 billion globally and bringing audiences back to the big screen for a shared event experience, technical and invocation. The cockpit camera engineering fleet to depart to capture the actor's real physical reaction to G-forces. Director Joseph Kosinski and Sony developed a new camera system called Events Tight Spaces. This was the first time 6 high-quality IMAX cameras were successfully crammed into the tiny cockpit of an F-18. Tom Cruise's flight school actor pilot role. Tom Cruise didn't just star. He as a flight instructor. He designed a rigorous 3-month training program for the younger actors to ensure that they would not get sick or pass out during the intense 8G force maneuver. Practically, first the avoided green screen. Actors were responsible for their own lighting, makeup, and starting the cameras while traveling at hundreds of miles per hour. Real world connection. A Lockheed Martin collaboration. The futuristic Dark Star jet was designed with help from Lockheed Martin Works. It was so realistic that China reportedly moved a satellite to photograph the prompt at the naval base, thinking it was a real secret aircraft. The Iceman wing, the scene between Maverick and Iceman while climbing, was a deeply emotional moment for the crew. Crew famously refused to make the sequence without Kramer, despite Kramer's real-life struggle with stroke cancer. And we know that he passed away. It was soon that movie was produced, if not maybe before, at 65. Subtitle story parallels legacy versus future. Insiders often points out that film's pipe, a dinosaur pipe, proving he's still relevant against modern tech. Taking Tom's own real. He was one of the last. And so there you have it. Once again, this is going to bring an end to this review of Maverick, Tom Cruise, Lieutenant Pete Mitchell. It's a really great movie to see. If you haven't seen the first installment, it was called Top Gun. It was produced some years ago. Me and Tom both were younger men. Me and Tom about the same age, only about days apart age. Both turning 64 year. So he has been around for a while, and he is a really great actor. He produced Gun, and then Maverick, and possibly McGuire, a host of other films that actors has produced and been involved in. And I would definitely encourage you to get out and this is the last installment of Pete Mitchell as Maverick. Really a great actor. It's a great movie. Part I hate is that Val Kramer, he had a brief appearance in it due to personal struggles. Val passed away, I think about a year or so ago, of throat cancer at 65. Also another great actor. But again, we thank you for rocking with us and tuning in to an area that we put out here at Hollywood Insiders. And we'd ask if you would to support the channel or podcast simply by liking, sharing, and subscribing. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you will know when we are doing a upload. Again, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.